Gibbs from MG Art Class, and today we're going to look at priming a canvas. Now, most canvases nowadays that you buy are triple primed, however they are still quite rough, and it's quite a good idea to actually put a gesso primer on there, and it just acts as a little bit of a layer, so it stops the acrylic paint from being absorbed straight into the canvas. So this is the white gesso primer that we're going to use today, and this is just a Winsor & Newton Galleria, so it's a fairly sort of runny slash thick consistency. So this is what we're going to use to prime our canvas with. It's not essential that you gesso your canvas, however it is advisable, so let's get going. So what I tend to do when I prime my canvases is I do quite a few in one go, just makes it a little bit easier. So I just use this bucket from B&Q, and I use a DIY brush rather than my more expensive brushes that I purchase for painting. And so here's the primer here. So what you can do is just put a small amount in the bucket. So let's just have a look. So if we're just doing one canvas, that's going to be more than enough. So you can see I've just got a very small amount in there. And what I tend to do, and it might be a personal thing, is I just put a tiny little bit of water in, just to move that about a little bit. And the reason that I do that is because when I start to paint on the canvas, I don't want any texture or brush marks on my canvas. So just by watering it down a little bit, it allows me to give it a couple of layers without getting all those marks in there. So here's our canvas. So let's just stop putting that on. So don't worry about it dripping down. So what I would do is I would work in all different directions. That means that you're certain that you're going to be covering the canvas completely, because if you just do it in one line, your chances are you're going to miss some areas. So just going over in all different directions. On the chunky canvases, you can obviously go right to the edge, and then we'll do the sides just in a second. So for the sides, just make sure you're getting those areas there. And you can go ahead and just fill in all those sides. So while that's once that's dried, what I tend to do then is on the second layer is again I just add a little bit of paint. This time less water, so just a tiny little amount there. And then I'll actually just use a base colour. So here I'm just using the yellow ochre, so just a little bit, just to get rid of the white. It might not necessarily be the ground colour that I'm working with, but I just want to get rid of it at this stage. So mix that up. So you want to make sure that it's completely mixed. It just stops you from getting any streaks of white and then the yellow ochre, so you get some consistency with your colour there. So that should be fine. So once that's completely dry, then I can just go on with my my next layer. So I mean, I put it on fairly dark, but you may not want to make it that dark. You may want to use more of the gesso and less of the paint at this stage if it's not the ground colour that you want. But I'm going to talk about ground colour in a little bit more detail later. And that's pretty much how you prime a canvas, and that's it. Look, And then once that's fully dry, you're ready to go. And that's it. So, there you have it.